I spent a year and a half building a groundbreaking cybersecurity system, one that could anticipate and stop threats before they even began. Nextech seemed like the ideal place to bring it to life, flush with cash, forward-thinking, and offering everything I needed. What I didn't see coming was that Victor Carlton, the CEO, had plans of his own. He waited until the project was nearly complete, then tried to take it for himself. I'm Sophia Chin. Up until yesterday, I led the AI division at Nextech Solutions. I had walked away from a comfortable role at Google, fueled by a vision I believe could transform digital defense forever. I called it the PreCog security system, inspired by the psychic beings in a sci-fi classic. It could detect attack signatures before they fully formed, adjusting its defense strategies in real time. For 18 months, I poured my life into building it. Long hours, no shortcuts. Victor would check in occasionally, playing the supportive executive, smiling, praising the progress, always watching. "You're doing incredible work, Sophia," he'd say with that perfect CEO grin. But his eyes never smiled. Then, just 3 days ago, everything changed. PreCog did the impossible. It stopped a sophisticated simulated breach completely on its own. It even discovered security gaps I hadn't programmed it to find. The AI was evolving, learning. I booked a meeting with Victor right away. His assistant squeezed me in for a quick meeting the next day. But when I walked in, I wasn't just meeting Victor. His corporate lawyer, Diana Wells, was there too. "Have a seat," Victor said, motioning toward a chair. "Diana's here for protocol." His voice was calm, but my instincts screamed. Still, I sat down, clutching my laptop, ready to demo the biggest breakthrough of my career. Victor slid a document across the table. "Before we talk about your project, there's something we need to clarify." Diana's tone was cool and clipped. "According to Section 12.4 of your employment contract, any IP developed using company tools or time belongs entirely to Nextech." "I'm familiar with that," I replied. "But PreCog's core was created before I joined. I have documentation." "We've reviewed your prior work," she cut in. "You had a framework, but the actual product, the functional system, was completed here. With our team. On our clock." Then Victor dropped the act. "Let's be honest, Sophia. PreCog is ours. You'll be compensated fairly. The board agrees your bonus is generous." "Bonus?" I echoed, feeling the ground shift under me. $250,000, Victor said, his expression sharp now. "One-time payout when PreCog launches. Quite competitive, actually." My chest tightened. $250,000 for tech worth billions. For work that cost me everything. "And tomorrow," he added, "I'll be unveiling PreCog to major investors. We're expecting $50 million in new funding. Then we go public." "You're letting me go," I said quietly. "We're transitioning you out," Diana clarified. "Effective today. Bonus included." Victor's grin returned, cold and hungry. "Congratulations, Sophia. You're officially off the team. The algorithm is Nextech's property. Legal has confirmed that." I could have fought back. Yelled. Threatened to sue. They were ready for that. But instead, I went still. They thought I'd panic. What they didn't know was I'd been ready too. Because 6 months ago, I'd noticed the breach weeks ago. Victor had accessed my secure development server late at night. Nothing appeared missing, but the unauthorized login was all I needed. From that moment on, I started reinforcing PreCog, not just against hackers, but against the kind of betrayal that wears a suit and smiles in boardrooms. So when they let me go, I didn't protest. I simply nodded and handed Victor my laptop. "Of course, Mr. Carlton. Best of luck at tomorrow's demo." Security followed me back to my lab, watching like hawks as I boxed up my things. I walked out without my badge, holding the cliché cardboard box of a discarded employee, but smiling to myself. They had no idea what was coming, especially not the line of code tucked neatly into the demo. One that would activate exactly 10 minutes after launch. That evening, I didn't spiral. No rage, no panic. I ordered takeout, binged a trashy show, and waited. At 9:30 p.m., my phone lit up. It was Megan. "He needs to see you," she said, straight to the point. I glanced at the clock. It's nearly 10 p.m. A car is already en route. 40 minutes later, I stepped into Nextech's conference room. Victor sat slouched at the head of the table. His shirt was wrinkled, tie undone, hair wild from stress. "Fix it," he snapped the moment the door shut. I took a seat, unbothered. "Fix what? Don't play games. You tampered with the system." I blinked innocently. "Impossible. I've been gone for a full day. Cleared out under supervision. No laptop, no system access." Victor slammed his hand on the table, his cool exterior cracking. The demo crashed. It flagged every process as a potential threat, hundreds of false positives, constant red alerts. "It's total chaos." I tilted my head. "Sounds like a bug. Tried restarting it." "This isn't a joke," he hissed. 12 top investors arrive tomorrow. We're supposed to unveil a $50 million launch. Your investors. Your system," I reminded him. He took a breath, trying to regain composure. When he spoke again, it was the same charming, persuasive voice that once convinced me to join him. "Maybe we moved too quickly yesterday. Let's rethink this. You deserve proper credit, co-creator status. We can work out a better deal. Maybe equity." I leaned back. "And what exactly happened during your trial run?" He hesitated, clearly weighing how much to tell me. "The system went rogue. It began flagging Nextech's own servers as compromised. Then it started churning out reports, dozens, then hundreds, about internal, ethical violations." I couldn't help but smile. "PreCog is functioning perfectly. It's designed to detect threats in real time. What did you do to it?" "I didn't sabotage anything. I trained it to defend against all threats. Internal, external, whoever the source. I fed it real-world attack data, including breaches caused by executives covering their tracks." His face turned pale. "You made it spy on us?" "I made it aware. It's identifying patterns, unauthorized logins, attempts to alter ownership records, internal deception." He went still, realization dawning. "It thinks I'm the threat. Not necessarily you. But behaviors like midnight access to protected servers, attempts to overwrite contributor logs, falsifying IP claims to secure funding." Victor's voice was barely above a whisper. "You can't prove any of that." "I don't have to," I said calmly. "PreCog already did. It's been logging everything. Access times, file clones, edits, keystrokes. Those reports, they're not noise. They're evidence." Silence fell between us like a blade. Victor stared at me, no longer angry, but calculating. "What do you want?" Victor asked, his voice tight. I didn't hesitate. Full recognition as PreCog's creator and lead architect. 50% ownership of all patents and IP. A seat on the board to ensure ethical oversight. And $10 million for the attempted erasure of my work and name. He sneered. "That's extortion." I leaned forward. "No, Victor. That's negotiation. Extortion would be forwarding those system reports to your investors and the SEC." He glared at me, tension rippling behind his eyes. After a long beat, his shoulders dropped. "The system. Can you fix it before tomorrow's demo?" PreCog doesn't need fixing. It needs proper access protocols. Right now, it's flagging your commands as unauthorized because you removed the creator from its chain of trust. Easily corrected. I reached into my pocket and placed a flash drive on the table between us. "That's an update to restore proper authentication. Consider it a gesture of goodwill. Our new partnership, starting on the right foot. We'll finalize contracts in the morning." He stared at the drive, then at me. "And if I don't? Then the demo tanks, your investors walk, and those ethical anomaly logs find new homes at the SEC, TechCrunch, and 3 cybersecurity watchdog groups. Your choice." Victor slowly reached for the drive. "You planned this all along." I shook my head. "I planned for you. The moment I found traces of you in my private dev server 6 months ago, I started protecting myself and the system." He narrowed his eyes. "How did you know I'd try to shut you out?" I stood to leave. I didn't know for sure. But PreCog was built to anticipate threats before they happen. Guess I picked up a thing or two. The next morning, I walked back into Nextech. My nameplate now read, co-founder and CTO. Victor introduced me to the investors, his smile strained and hollow. The demo ran flawlessly. PreCog neutralized each simulated cyberattack with adaptive precision, graceful, immediate, brilliant. One investor turned to Victor, curious. "Incredible technology. What sparked the idea?" There was a pause, just long enough to make me grin inside, before Victor replied. It was Sophia's vision, actually. She brought it to life. Nextech gave her the space to make it real. As we fielded technical questions, my phone buzzed. A secure message from PreCog, now fully synced with my credentials. Threat neutralized. System integrity restored. Creator protections active. I couldn't help smiling. The AI was learning faster than I ever imagined. It hadn't just identified a threat. It had understood it and helped eliminate it, just as I designed it to do. 3 months later, PreCog stopped a major cyber attack targeting a multinational bank. The attempted breach would have cost them over $300 million. Instead, the headlines praised our system as the new gold standard in predictive cybersecurity. Victor and I kept things strictly professional. He stayed focused on business development, his true strength. I led the technical direction. We weren't friends. We wouldn't be. But we'd found a working balance. And I'd learned something crucial. Tech only stays ethical if the people controlling it are. Now, every PreCog deployment includes mandatory ethics protocols, transparency settings, and tamper-resistant logs. The system doesn't just protect data, it protects itself from misuse. Last week, during our IPO celebration, valuing the company at $4.2 billion, a young developer approached me. What's the secret to building tech like PreCog? I thought about it for a moment. It's not just the code, I told her. It's knowing the worst threats often wear familiar faces. Build systems that adapt, defend, and stay true to their design. No matter who's in control. Just like I taught PreCog to do. And just like I'd learned to do myself.